So let's take a look at scientific notation. So a lot of things in science are either very large numbers, very small numbers, and we have to be able to put things down in terms of scientific notation and also to count the numbers of significant figures in something as scientific notation. So a couple of things with this is let's take a look at this one right here. So basically I broke it down into a measurement greater than 1, then a measurement less than 1. So in this case right here, it's 167,300. Now, what I need to do is I put the decimal after the first non-zero digit, so I'm going to put this 1 point. So we'll start right here. I'm going to put a decimal after the first non-zero digit, and then I write the numbers that are significant. So I'm going to put a 1 point right there. Now in this case right here, the numbers that are significant are going to be these right here. These are all the significant figures. The last two zeros are placeholder zeros, so this is a measurement greater than 1. Doesn't have a decimal, so the zeros at the very end are placeholders. So we need them, but they're not significant. So these are the placeholder zeros. So what I do at 1 point, and then I'm going to write down all the digits that are significant. So 6, 7, 3. So I stop right there. I don't write the last two zeros because they're not significant. Now I'm going to write times 10. Now to count these, I put a decimal here, and I got to reach there. So I'm going to count. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was 5 spaces. For measurements greater than 1, it's always going to be a positive exponent. So it's 1.673 times 10 to 5. And a couple of things. This has 4 significant figures. I'm going to come back in a second and show you how to enter this in your calculator. This one right here is just the opposite. It's a measurement less than 1. So again, we put a decimal over the first non-zero digit, which we're going to put it right here. So I'm going to put 7.900. Now, a couple of things. For a measurement less than 1, the initial zeros are placeholder. So these are the placeholder. All the other zeros are significant. So these last two zeros at the end, they're significant. So 7.900. Now, what I'm going to do is, I got to move from here to this decimal right here. I got to move to the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, since it's to the left now, this is times 10 to the minus 5. So again, if I'm moving for a measurement less than 1, it's a negative exponent. Greater than 1 is going to be a positive 1. And again, these are significant figures. This is 4 significant figures. And again, emphasize it for the last time now. I need a times 10 to the minus 5. I need a times 10 to the 5th. Those are placeholder, but it tells you the quantity of the measurement. Let's go ahead and show you how to put this into your calculator. So your calculator should have scientific notation on there, so you need to get a calculator that has that. And so what I do is, say I want to enter this. I'm going to enter 1.673. So again, doesn't really make a difference what calculator you have. 1.673. Now, I just don't want to write times 10 to the minus 5 in my calculator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the EE key. So my calculator has an EE key. Some calculators will have an EXP key. Some will have times 10 to the X key. So any way you want to do it. Now for a TI, or Texas Instruments, I got to put a second to the EE. So the EE is a second function. And then I'm just going to write to the 5th. So mine works like this. Yours should be similar. When you put it, only put the exponent in there. Don't put the times 10 to the 5th. Especially if you do multiplication or division, especially division. If you don't enter scientific notation correctly, the answer may not come out correct. So 1.673, get the EE key, and then write the 5th. The same with this one. Put 7.900. Your calculator may not have the last two zeros show up, but some calculators do. And then I put EE, and then I'm going to put negative 5. So in this case, use the negative, not the minus, use a negative sign for that. Let's go ahead now and let's do a multiplication and division. In fact, a division with scientific notation. So again, make sure you enter this stuff in correctly in your calculator. So it should be like 4.16 EE to the 4th. This is a good way to check yourself. If you can do a division correctly with scientific notation, then everything else should be fine. A couple of things. Your calculator is going to spit this out. So your calculator is going to give you this. What we want to do is round this off to the correct number of significant figures. So a couple of things, let me switch the pen here, is that this answer right here has 2 significant figures, and then this one has 3. So my final answer has got to have 2 significant figures. So I'm going to round this off to 2 significant figures. It's going to be 6.7 times 10 to the minus 11. So again, you need that times 10 to the minus 11, but it's only 6.7 that are considered significant.